is up, guys? This is my first tutorial video scripting on Lua, Roblox, whatever. Let's just get right into it. First things first, we're doing interactive UI. So just, hover over it, whatever, it pops out, makes a sound, something simple. This is client only, so we'll use either starter player, whatever, or starter GUI. I prefer GUI, so let's make our screen GUI. Name it whatever. I'm gonna name it test. I'm gonna yeah, text button. We're gonna use text button or image button. The reason why is because these have activated functions that Roblox already put for us, so it's just easier. And then if you want, you can put your script. It has to be a local script, by the way, because we're on the client. But you can put it in the GUI or inside of the actual button. If you want like a script that can just, you can just pop it into any button and it would do it, then this is what I would do. And yeah, let's name it like analyst or something like that. And the first thing we're gonna do is just use, or actually, let's customize our button a little bit beforehand. Something normal. And we're gonna just do that. This is like what I use for like every single UI like thing that I use. I just do it like this first. Yeah, we'll say shop. Why not? And then I'm gonna make you background color just like that. Yeah, it's 2 in the morning, bro. I am freaking exhausted. Yep, that works. And I'll just like put it on the side or something. And then what I'd like to do, this is my personal favorite. I put a UI scale in about almost every single one of my UIs. All my GUIs just have a scale, and I tween the scale. Because if you mess around with it, it just makes your life a lot easier. See that? And then here, this is the script. I'm gonna make the script a little friendly. You can just like, pop this into any button. Just make sure it's parented to the button. If you want to, what you can do is in your stroke put a gradient, and then we can tweak this gradient. It's like a rotation, but you will have to do this here. So yeah, make the gradient, make the stroke white so it can take the color of the gradient, and then make the gradient any color you want. Just make sure it's a blend that can be seen properly. Something like this. Yeah, I'll do that for now. And then let's get started with our actual script. So first things first, let's use tween service. I'm gonna make this variable right here for TS, and then I'm gonna make the variable for the buttons, which is our script.parent, which is why you can like pop this into anything because the variable for button will always be whatever the parent is, like this right here. So it just makes it just a lot easier. Instead of saying a text button or whatever, we can just say script.parent. But unless you have the actual script not inside the text button, then you will have to adjust the script accordingly. And then, I don't usually do this, but just for the sake of the video, I'm going to put tween info at the top, put in our parameters. I like to use, you can use any of these. Linear is nice. I love back. Well, I'm actually going to use court. Yeah. Actually, no. I'm going to use back. I was thinking of something else. And then, yeah, out. Using direction, you can play with this, but if it's not like a frame opening up, if it's like hover, you just hover over it and then something happens in an effect, then the direction is actually like this one matters a lot. In my from what I've like my personal opinion, I care more about the direction than the style for hovering, interaction, stuff like that. And then, yeah, we're basically, that's literally like, we're almost done. So now we can say button, that, mouse, enter, connect that to a function. And then we'll put that as a stub for now. And then we can say mouse, leave, connect that to a function. And this is really simple. I mean, when you enter it, we'll just make the scale go up a little bit. And when we leave it, we can turn it back to normal. And if you want, you can do this as well. Just more variety, you can add in this. And then we'll just put our sound ID. And and we'll just like call it like hover or something. And then now, yeah, we can just say really button dot mouse enter whenever we enter. Oh, I forgot to do this. Local UI scale is equal to button first child UI scale. You can wait for child, wait for child, doesn't matter. Whenever I don't use the child functions, I get errors sometimes. It's just nice because this function returns nil if nothing comes up. And then we'll just say local tween is equal to ts create. No. And we'll put our button as our first parameter. No. There's our scale. Sorry. And then we'll put our tween info as our argument. And then our goal is equal to, yeah, we're gonna say our scale property is just a little bit. You can do this however you want. However, I think 1.05 to like 1.15 is like the sweet spot. I do like 1.25, something like this, like literally. And then we can just play the tween. Seriously, you can do like, you can mess around with the tween info, the time, whatever. If you want, if you make it easier, you can say like local, like duration is equal to 0.2 or something, and then you can just pass that in here or something, you know. And you can just mess with this instead of having to always come right here. Then, yeah, and then we can say button dot hover, our sound effects. We can just play that. And now what happens is if we test this out, there you go. And then, but the only issue is that we gotta make it actually tween out. And I don't like how fast this is, to be honest. We'll do like 3.5 or something. And now we'll make another tween. Tween out is equal to ts. Create UI scale. Ti scale, oops, is equal to 1. And then we can just play this. And if you want, you can make another sound of when you leave. I think that's actually really annoying, to be honest. But yeah. And then, I mean, yeah, it's really simple code. It's 17 lines, not even. Boom, interactive. And that's basically it. If you want more, look at that. I like back because the little jiggle effect's nice. You can also do this as well. Why I made the gradient is we can just say local. Yeah, we'll use run service for every frame, and then down here we can say like run service dot render steps connect to function. You can use a while loop, I'm pretty sure too. I don't like that though. And then we can say oh yeah, we should make a variable for our gradient. To button dot UI struct dot UI gradient, and we'll just say gradient dot rotation plus or equal to 2. Oopsies. Plus or equal to 2. And there you go. And then now you'll see how you'll see the stroke is rotating. Yeah, there you go. You can adjust that speed. Just makes your game feel a little bit more alive. And if you go into the player GUI right here, into our gradient, we'll see that the rotation is not slowly, but it's going up every second. That's for every frame. It's going up by 2. It's kind of crazy. And then, if you want, I mean, that's really basic. Like, you have the rotation frame, or gradient, whatever bullshit. And then you have the entering effects and all that. You can mess around with more stuff. You can say like this right here. Like, this is if you want to get a little bit more fancier. I like this. You can say button dot mouse. The moved, you can do like a frame. And then once you like use moved, you connect this frame, and then the frame, like every time you move it, like it'll follow. Like, yeah, even has right here. Like it'll like follow your mouse and like show you stats or whatever. So that's prominent in a lot of games. That's what you use mouse moved for. What I use it for. You can use button click. Obviously, when you click it, you can make an effects. We're not gonna use clicked in this video. Button 1 down and up. So yeah, this is what it says right here. When the user presses their left mouse button down. So it's basically like a click. I mean, and then there's 1 up. This is when you oh no 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 no. Down is when you hold like your mouse button. Like if you were holding it, it wouldn't count as a click. So the click function would not actually enter if you use that. But the down, if you were to hold down on like the UI, this would activate. And the up is when you actually release from the down. What happened? So you use both of these in harmony the same way you use enter and leave. Or if I mean you don't have to do anything really. I mean in your life, but you would usually up, yeah. And then you can just say like local tween one down. I mean it's not the best variable name, but well, who gives a fuck. And we'll say UI scale TI again. You can always make new tweet infos for this. You probably should. I'm just doing this for the sake of the video. Scale is equal to, why not? I'll make it like 1.6. And actually, I'm gonna use a different. Nah, I don't care. And then we'll just play the. Yeah, we'll just play it. And then we can say local tween up. Just hold down is when it goes back. Oh no 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 no. We should make this one. Yeah, this one gets smaller when you hold it down because you're shrinking it. Like that's the shrinking animation. And then this one, when you release, it gets bigger. And then we'll just say tween info. And then we'll say scale. Make sure to put this in brackets, curly brackets. I guess we'll just play it. And then now, you should see. So yeah, hover, boom, it shrinks. You let go, and it goes back to normal. And yeah. And just to show you guys, like what I was saying, the click function will not work. So we can just say like print tweening down or something. And then we can say like button dot like mouse button clicked or something. And honestly, I'll just copy this, bro. Tweening click. I'll just say that just for the sake of the video. And then when you click it, if I can make it like that, yeah. And then we're just going to output. Boom. Tweening down. It does not click, even though you're holding down the mouse. The click does not activate. But if you click it, yeah. Click it. Huh. Thank you. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. Because the mouse enter, I'm assuming the mouse enter is just always happening, and making this while you're clicking it. Yeah, that makes sense. Boom, 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 boom. And yeah, if you want the script to be like super friendly, they can just like get rid of the down, or not even get rid of the click. Put the click however you want. Probably a different script to be honest, but yeah, it's like this would be the script. Like really, you have your rotation, your up and downs, and your leave and enter functions. I mean, yeah, I mean if you want, you can adjust these. If you use in, like in is really ugly for this. Look how this looks. Yeah, that's disgusting. In out is in out is super stupid, bro. You barely use this, or I barely use it. Yeah, it's alright. Actually, it's not that stupid. It's pretty nice. But on just like in a reverse direction out, it's always yeah, when you're bringing stuff out and then back in. I would probably do something like I would use different tween infos if you want this to be the best night like looking that it could possibly be for each one, honestly. But like enter the directions out, leave the directions in, something like that. You know. But yeah, that's about it. That was my first tutorial. I mean, it's nothing crazy. I mean, yeah, that's about it really. It was a depressing tutorial, like my life.